And here we are, live post game. The haters are already hating. Are already hating in the chat room. The refs came to Tampa Bay. Matthew, Smokin Tobacco, post game show, and it could not be better to see all the haters hating.
We actually got the
Listen,
official referee call on this, and that was definitely a total blowout on the Bucks' behalf.
Yeah,
so.
we'll bring the referee on in a minute. But Matthew, welcome to
Give
the.
us his
Let's welcome
opinion.
everybody to the post game show.
welcome
Especially our
to my
haters.
own show. I wanted the first. I'm going to start with this, okay? Because we have a lot of ground to cover here. I'm smoking a celebratory cigar, and there's nothing more fitting, and there's no ass kissing here. So any other haters can go pound sand. I decided to light up, regardless of who's on the show, the Andalusian Bull from La Flor Dominicana. Oh, and so did John. How fitting. It was not planned, I swear. Hold on one second. Let me just... Everyone, just... Hold on.
You know what, Matthew? Moment of silence, by the way. Let's let the haters hate for a bit while we smoke our victory
Hold
stars.
on. John, there's a new flavor note in this cigar. Hold on.
It's called #winning.
Let's see what we get.
It tastes like 7 rings. It tastes like 7 rings of glory.
It tastes like.
Is that what golden diamonds taste like?
It must be, man. You know what it tastes like to me? It tastes like haters in the comment box hating themselves for no reason. Just enjoy it. I told everybody, I warned everybody this last week. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just trying to set your expectations. I asked you to enjoy greatness. I said enjoy it. And yeah, Brady's not the only player on that field, and also the refs aren't the only people on the field. Mahomes isn't the only player on the field. However, the most important player on a football field is a quarterback, and the most successful to ever do it is Tom Brady, and he still is. So hate all you want. Talk about the refs. How about we talk about how the left and right tackles on Kansas City couldn't block? And I don't care that they're not backups, that they're backups. They actually didn't block. They sucked. Let's talk about how the Bucks defense shut down every wide receiver on that field except Travis Kelce. They're like, oh, Kelce had a good game. Yeah, because they let him beat them, and he didn't because he can't. So let's talk about the real problems, and let's stop talking about the refs. Let's stop talking about how Brady cheats. Let's stop talking about these things that are just fun, troll, comment section, keyboard warrior crap, and let's enjoy this. Light up a nice cigar. Enjoy it with us. If you want to talk shit, talk shit. If you want to be a hater, because I think it's funny. I think it's cute. It's very cunning. It's cunning. 7 Super Bowls, Tom Brady, the greatest athlete of all time, the greatest winner of all time, put on a show, and right now I'm watching him hug guys, talk about how great it feels. That's what he's talking about. He's a great leader. He's a great man. He does great things. We can all enjoy a little bit of greatness. And tonight we got to witness something that was very, very special. And we're about to pop some champagne over here. I don't know what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
We got some stag over here. Represent for celebratory occasion. So let's I know you're excited. I'm excited. I think you're way more excited than I am, which is fine.
Oh,
Let's get down to specifics though for a second. So at the halftime show, we talked about how it still was in reach for Kansas City. They had to kind of go back to the drawing board and figure some things out, and just kind of come up with a different approach, and maybe pull out some special plays, maybe that they were saving. I don't know. It was within reach. They came out, and I don't know. I don't know if they ran out of steam. I don't know if the pressure got to them as a team. Specifically talking about Patrick Mahomes, you watch Patrick Mahomes. He had a lot of fight in him. I'll give him that. He had a lot of fight. He played the best game that I think he could have played. Mentally and just for himself. But it definitely seemed like he was playing through an injury there, and that in the last 15 minutes of play, he just looked like he just didn't have full footing. He looked tired. He looked like he was just. Oh, look at this! This is a little love show. It's cute. But no, I mean, it seriously. It looked like Mahomes was struggling, which sucks, and it's very unfortunate. I like Patrick Mahomes. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a good player. I've said that before this year. He is a great player, and he got a win last year. I think that's awesome. I think he's going to have a nice career. He's going to have a long career. I don't think this will be the last time he's in a Super Bowl. Um,
Absolutely not.
it just definitely seemed like he was playing from behind and he was having a hard time treading against that water. Tom Brady, aside from everything else, when you look at the brass taxes of it, here Tom has been here before way more times than Mahomes. And Tampa Bay got a good lead going. They had the momentum. He was in a good place. And I feel like the Chiefs, I think they came out strong with good intentions, but they just couldn't get around that Tampa defense. My chair just popped.
So the Tampa defense played lights out. Let's talk about those cornerbacks real quick because they had a lot of injuries in that secondary the last few weeks, and that was a question about what was going to go on. They played great, really good defensive play, and I'm glad that it didn't start out with just defense. I mean, the offense put the points on the board. They needed to win that game from wire to wire. And it was funny. Our friend Coop has said a couple times, he was like, Andy Reid was terrible. Andy Reid is a very good coach. He gets real cute with things, and he try to overthinks it or underprepares. When you're overthinking, sometimes you end up underprepared. I'm not a professional football coach. If I was, I'd be coaching the Cleveland Browns a few years back because I would have only needed to win one game to be more successful than the previous coach. But Coop said something here. He said, why was he still in the game? And that was Mahomes. My question is, why was Andy Reid still in the game at the end? Because he wasn't making good calls. Everything was not going well. You said it right at the halftime show, Matthew. Those penalties they had, they mentally were not in this game, and it went all the way down to their special teams. And didn't that Bucks team look eerily like a Patriots team? The way they were prepared for that game. I mean, they took away what Kansas City's strength was tenfold. I mean, they made Kansas City look like a team that couldn't get anything done. And that was really what the Patriots had done for 20 years. And we can talk about the Patriots some other time because this is about Brady, this is about the Bucks, this is about what they put together. Bruce Arians, it was a team win. But man, if the Patriots could have put that type of team together this last year, I think that this could have been a similar outcome. But obviously they weren't able to do it with challenges. But man, what a great decision Brady made going to Tampa. What a great thing for the city of Tampa, and really you might not enjoy the game because it was wire to wire Tampa Bay, but man, what a really good Super Bowl in terms of a storyline. And seven Super Bowls,
Yeah,
seven.
7. And it's not even just about Tom Brady. It's just the fact that someone was able to do that. Like people who don't like Tom Brady, like I get it, but like just think about it from a sports and an athletic
gotta admire
competition
the athlete.
standpoint.
Yeah,
Seven
by the way,
times. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. Like 7 times, that's not easy. Most good quarterbacks, on average, see maybe 2 or 3 at best. Like that's like that was a hell of a career. This guy's done it 7 times. I mean
it was
that's
interesting because
you'll never see it again.
no, and Tony Romo was talking about it at the end of the game, and I saw some people online saying, "Oh, Romo loves Mahomes." They were trying to entertain the game. Part of their job is to make the game exciting as commentators. But Romo was talking about at the end, and they were saying, if Mahomes would have won this game, they talk about him in the air of Brady just because of how successful he's been at the beginning of his career. They said now Brady winning this, for Mahomes to reach that type of level as Brady, he now has to win a Super Bowl 6 more times, to win it, let alone go to it and whatnot. And as you get older, there's more and more challenges. And he says, and it's a really unique situation. Now he's head to head against Brady's teams in terms of the NFC if they happen to make the Super Bowl again. Because I think the Bucks are going to be very good again next year. But it was interesting to hear Romo say that because it was a really unique conversation because it put it in perspective. He was saying, well, we think very highly of Mahomes and how respected he is. Absolutely. Very much respectful, deserves it 2 years in a row. But 2 years in a row is really cute when the guy you're playing against just won his 7th freaking Super Bowl. I mean, let's talk
Yeah,
2 years in a row. Like, right now, Tom Brady is the most successful NFC quarterback in the last 15 years. He's more successful than Breeze. He's more successful than Rodgers. He's been more successful in the AFC. So when you want to talk about greatness, and I know people get sick of it, that's fine. By the way, if you hate Tom Brady, I guarantee you he doesn't like you either. That's fine. There's no love lost between you and Tom Brady and your distaste for him. That's fine. enjoy what he's doing. It's so unique. And I'm about to watch him win the MVP of the Super Bowl here on the screen. Why can't you just sit back, relax, and enjoy it? I don't dislike you. Tom Brady doesn't even know who you are. Enjoy it. If we can hate somebody, let's hate the guy who's on the screen right now, Roger Goodell, because he's a scumbag.
I was just gonna say it'd be interesting to watch because Roger Goodell's standing there like, oh fuck, I gotta give this to him for the 7th time.
Yeah, put your mask
Yeah,
on, by the way,
exactly.
Roger. Here we go. But there's another moment of silence. Let's have another moment of silence for this greatness, man. There's not much left to say. This is just amazing.
William Cooper has responded. I don't know to who Coop you respond to, but I know Coop just said. I might have been talking. Eli
No, he
Manning
says
has
no.
2
No,
Super
he says
Bowls.
no. No, Eli Manning has 2 Super Bowls in the last 15 years. Yes, he does. So I will admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong. He's not been the most successful quarterback in the last 15 years in the NFC. But I think we can all admit that Tom Brady, even though he's lost in 2 Super Bowls to him, is a better quarterback than him. But I will give you that. I was wrong. But in 2021, when this season starts up again, Brady will be starting his quest. And I bet you that Tom Brady knows that, and he's going to try to get that 2nd Super Bowl so we can at least be tied with Eli in just the NFC.
I think that's the beauty of Brady in itself is like he looks for things like that,
Yeah.
He's gonna seek that out and say, Eli, like I've just got this special relationship with him and
I don't
what's
think
happened in the past.
I
and
don't
we
think he
just
has a
wanna go
special
for it.
relationship with Eli. I think
I
he
don't think
wants
he has
to
a
be
special relationship. I just think that he wants to be the greatest in all aspects. Like there's
Oh, 100%.
nothing he doesn't want to dominate.
There's also
and I
nothing
think
he's not
that's-
aware
yeah,
of, right?
Yeah, that's the key. There's nothing he's not aware of.
They're about to give Tom Brady this trophy right now.
Yeah, I'm listening in, but I'm also watching at the same time,
Wow.
so I'm not disengaged. I'm pouring my glass of Stag right here.
Orlando
kinda
says,
getting
regardless
my-
of the outcome, congrats to the Bucks and the refs. You know what? The refs are part of the game. That's part of the game. If you don't like it, don't watch the game. I still like you, Orlando, but it's fine. The refs are always going to be part of the game, and it's great that we have the refs to complain about. Because if not, we just have to complain about Tom Brady being too great.
And by the way, Orlando, we double checked every call by our ref.
Yeah, the
right
referee.
here. Yeah, the ref confirmed all the calls.
Yep.
I actually have a question because I wasn't listening. So I know that we talked about this before. The NFL told the Buccaneers that they weren't allowed to fire the cannons off after their touchdowns, but after they win the Super Bowl, I mean, at that point, does it really matter? Were they allowed to fire their cannons?
They were. They were. If you read deep into it, they were allowed to fire the cannons when they came out onto the field, and they were allowed to fire them after the game.
I'd be surprised
okay.
if those don't go
And
off.
by the way,
And there it is.
if they weren't
and I
allowed
have just
to,
watched Tom grab the trophy for the 7th time.
Woo!
He got the MVP. He got the MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Tom Brady.
By the way, you're also
what's
Super
that? His,
Bowl
what's that? His
Yeah, we're just-
976th time.
Yeah. By the way, you're also that. Like in case you didn't know.
Yes, there's some motivation going. Not motivation. Sorry, I'm like reading the comments and I'm getting all tongue-tied. In the comments on the Facebook feed, there's definitely some.
By the way, a really
some
unique
rubbing
thing
going
just
on there.
happened
It's
here.
definitely not fun.
A really unique thing just happened. So Brady's sponsored by Under Armour. Okay, so the NFL is sponsored by Nike. So I don't know if you just noticed, Brady just adjusted his shirt and it covered up the Nike symbol on his shirt. That wasn't so his shirt would fit comfortably. That was so his Nike symbol was covered up on the picture. Guarantee it.
That sounds a lot like something that Michael Jordan did in the Olympics. Does it not? You remember the flag? You're older than me. You probably remember it.
I remember watching it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But dude, he adjusted his shirt, and it's because he knew the Nike symbol. And by the way, he also, I saw the comment earlier today on Facebook, which usually I don't put any respect in, but with this stuff, opinions and hot takes are great, right? I love people's negative opinions or difference of opinions. It's great. I never get offended by that stuff. And I hope nobody gets offended by my difference of opinion with it, which is fine. If you do, then I'm sorry. That's not my goal, and I don't have any disrespect for you. But somebody made an opinion. It was at the beginning of the game, and they said, it was Brian McGee, actually, from our Hacking Gourmet. He said, it looks like the Buccaneers have over-prepared for this, and it looks like the Kansas City Chiefs had just read their press clips of what they should or shouldn't do, and it did look like that from the very beginning. They were out of sorts. Obviously, Mahomes has something going on. I don't think he was 100%, but that's part of the game. The Bucks were very fortunate that their team was very, very healthy going into this, and it's just a long season, and it was it was unfortunate that he was injured. That's part of the game, and you got to stay as healthy as you can, and hopefully they do better next year. And maybe Andy Reid won't call that little option run off the side, so a 270-pound linebacker doesn't crush his quarterback's freaking neck nerves.
It was a long game. It was an interesting game. It definitely did not go the way that I had anticipated it. I expected a lot more out of Kansas City, but there's so many factors that go into any game, let alone a Super Bowl game. I've said it. I said it before, and I know people are going to use it as kind of like a token against Tom Brady, the Buccaneers, and everyone in Tampa. Oh well, they played in their home stadium. They didn't have to travel. They got to, they got to be home for those whole 2 weeks. Kansas City didn't get to fly until Friday. So they were at a heavy disadvantage. And true. These things are true. I mean, you're not going to argue with it. Like, yes, Tampa Bay didn't have to travel. They did get to play in a very, very rare, for the first time, they got to play in their own home stadium. They didn't have to worry about travel. COVID-19 has, the Chiefs weren't able to travel into the hosting city till much, much later than they normally would. Yes, these are all true factors. Do I think it's the reason? No. Could it maybe have impacted them somehow? Maybe. But again, they're all professionals. They're professional football players. They're good players. Kansas City is a good team. Patrick Mahomes is a good quarterback. They showed up. They knew the job that they had to do. Fair was fair. They had every opportunity. It just sometimes things just don't pan out. That's life, and that's football. It's part of the game.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, and you didn't like Tampa playing at home, maybe the Green Bay Packers should have tried to beat them a little bit harder.
The other thing I wanted to say was, even if Tampa Bay lost, Tom Brady lost, and Tampa Bay and Kansas City won the game, we'd still be here doing this. This isn't just like we're all out here to rub it in anyone's face. It's the Super Bowl. We wanted to do something, entertaining and engaging, and that's what we did. So, if Kansas City was on the other side of this, we'd still be here talking about, how they did overcome, a good Tampa Bay team, and how Patrick Mahomes was able to best Tom Brady. We're just calling it the way it happened. It's good football. It was fun to watch. I kind of, even just for the entertainment value, I kind of wish Kansas City had scored more. I wish they kind of played a little bit better.
You said it right, dude. You
But
said it right, bro.
they lost their footing.
It was a long ass game. How gut wrenching and was that second half, man? It was just not entertaining at all. It was a long game. And by the way, if we felt it was long, I mean, how hard must it have been on Kansas City, man?
There was a play where Kansas City was rolling with it in the third quarter. I'm like, I want to see them do something with this, right? Like, just to make it a game at this point. Like,
But yeah, in an analysis side of the game, Kansas City did not block very well at all. They had breakdowns on the offensive line. Their defense wasn't crazily exposed. It was just some big play. There were some big plays that happened. The play for me that really churned the real feel of the game was that Leonard Fournette run, because they just got muscled out. It was great blocking. He got to through the front line there, the defense, and into the secondary, and there was nobody there to stop him. That play for me, the two Gronk touchdowns were great as a fan of Gronk and Brady, but the play that really shut it down for me was that Fournette run, because that just showed that Tampa Bay was doing what they wanted to do, and they got to execute their game plan perfectly the entire game, and there was really nothing that Kansas City did to stop much of it, and it was in the second half it was a really different game.
It'll be interesting to see where Tom goes now. He has said I'll be back next year and all that, and I'm sure he will be. And as good as he is, and as much as we continue to watch him be successful and win Super Bowls and big games and all that, eventually it will come to an end. I mean, for those who are mad with Tom Brady, I understand, but it will come to an end. He's 43. Next year, he'll start next season at the age of 44. Whatever happens with that season, do you think that after 44 you think he goes, or do you think he still fights it through 45 and then he makes his actual decision?
We actually talked about this earlier.
I feel as long as the game is the way it is now with rules. I mean, we saw Mahomes get a 15-yard unnecessary roughness penalty when he had just thrown the ball and got hit by three players. 10 years ago, that play would never have been called an unnecessary roughness by a referee here.
Ruff, what do you say?
But I say as long as he's not going to get hit, as long as the game is friendly to quarterbacks, which makes the game better. You can be on both sides of that, but it makes the game more entertaining for the casual fan. I think Brady will stick around for as long as he can play. Brett Favre left because he started to get, he had some injury things. Peyton Manning had to retire because he had some injury situations. So, I think he's going to stick around at least, I'd say, another 2 years. And then, I'd hate to see it. I said it tonight. He may stick around too long and take a hit by somebody who's real big and end up with an ACL tear at 45, 46 years old. That's not going to allow him to move around the way he does. So, but no, I think he's going to stick around, man. I don't think he plans on retiring any time in the next year or two. I think he's at least going to make it to 45, like he said, which will get us into next year. So we'll see what happens. So, I think he's going to be around for at least 2 more years, and especially with his victory. And the big thing is people are like, what else does he have to prove? He doesn't have anything to prove to any of us, and he never has. The proof to us has already been done. He's proven stuff to himself now. That chip you see on his shoulder is the chip that he doesn't think he's good enough, and he wants to show that he's better and he can continue to be good. And so when you have that chip on your shoulder, you're only proving to yourself, and it's scary because that's a guy that's proved it to everybody and to himself multiple times, and still feels like he's got to. So I think we're still in for some exciting stuff, and I think that Bucs team's going to still be real good next year.
He doesn't want anyone in his lifetime or the next to be able to touch what he's done. I mean, that's what he's going for at this point, is just to make it unobtainable, right? And to be something that young quarterbacks aspire to, but understand that it's just going to take a tremendous amount of self-will and self-discipline to achieve.
Yeah, I think that he is just one of those people where he doesn't do it for anyone but himself, and not in like just in a selfish way. It's just it's the personal pride and the personal achievement to go out there and just and work hard and be with the team, support the teammates, play together, play the game the right way. And I think that at the end of the day, that's all he wants. He wants to play good football. He wants to be part of a good team, and it's not about he doesn't do it for the wrong reasons. I think that as long as he can play, I think he will. I think John made a very good point though, because of his age, is as much as he can play, it's one of those situations where if something was to happen to him, it would be a lot harder for him to keep going. I mean, just it's science.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be able to heal and recover the same way a 25-year-old quarterback would.
I slept
I
on
think
my
at that
neck
point
wrong.
that would be the.
Like I slept on my pillow wrong last night. My neck hurt all day. You know what I mean? Like that's little. So, and he's 7 years older than me, and I know that I know I'm still young, but the best is yet to come from what everyone tells me who's older than me, and I trust him. And yeah, it's great as long as you don't take anything. As long as he stays healthy, as long as his arm's good, which it seems like it's fine. And by the way, people talk about the arm strength or this and that. I watched Brett Favre at 50 years old still go out and throw footballs around. I watched Jim Kelly after cancer treatments and all this stuff throw balls around. I watch these people. They still have arm strength. They can still throw a football. And as long as he has that and he has no arm issue, he's going to be fine. As long as he has no other issues, he's good. One of the issues Drew Brees has right now is he's losing his arm strength because he's got shoulder injuries. He has challenges. He has those broken ribs. Brady doesn't have those things. He has one ACL, I think. It might have been ACL or MCL. He has one knee injury in 2007 when he was in his late 20s, early 30s. And he's recovered from it. He hasn't had anything even close to that since then. So I think he's going to be fine. And I think it's an exciting storyline for the NFL. And by the way, I heard the Patriots could use a quarterback. Maybe we should pick a guy up like this.
I think in terms of the Patriots, that's a whole nother show in itself as to what's going on there between him and Tom, with them and Tom. Um, I think the Patriots still have some good leadership, and I don't know how much longer that leadership will be around. I don't think it's too short term, but it's definitely not very long term. I would like to see them try to set themselves up for the next generation in the continuation of the post Brady era. Um, Josh McDaniels. Um, I know we've talked about this. I could see Josh McDaniels taking the reins after Bill is gone. He's been around for a lot. He's had a lot of experience with that team. I think pretty much every Super Bowl win they've had, he was a part of, if I'm not mistaken. Um, they need to find a good quarterback. They need to fill in some other spots on their roster, especially on their offensive line. And I think if they do that, they can. I'm not saying they're going to return to their former glory. I don't think they'll ever be in their former glory, without Tom Brady. I mean, I think when they lost him, that was the end of that. But I'm not saying that they can't be a good football team again and win Super Bowls. Um, they obviously have potential, but we'll watch Brady continue with Tampa Bay and see where he goes with that before he does ultimately retire. By the way, there was some people commenting on social media the last couple weeks. Maybe Tom can come to Detroit and help the Lions win a Super Bowl. Um,
Maybe. You never know. Now they can't now. I mean, they don't have any draft picks or anything to trade. But how surreal is what we just witnessed tonight, though? To be honest, and I'm not. Again, we as you said earlier, this is like we would have talked about this if Kansas City would have won, because that would have been really surreal too. And it wouldn't have been unprecedented for us to talk about what he's doing. But like, let's really break this down just on a really simple level. Simple's been the theme of the last like 48 hours for you and I, and
mhm.
like this is just simply a really cool thing to watch. Like we just watched 7 Super Bowls,
Yeah,
man. We were told we were having arguments and people were having discussions about Brady being the greatest of all time at 3, and then we got 4. They never thought he'd get 5. It was 6 was never even an option, and how crazy it was. And that was like 8 years ago. And now we're still having the same discussions. And if I keep having the same discussion time after time, I've got to really sit back and look and be like, wow, like maybe we're part of something and witnessing something really special, and I think we are, and this is what it is, and it's really cool to watch. And yeah, football's a team game, 100%. Tom Brady's not the only guy out there. All those guys on those teams deserve every special recognition they have. Congratulations to them. But there's something to be said about somebody who's the premier player on that team, who's been there 10 times and won 7. Man, it's just so. What other sport are we ever be able to talk to that about?
Wasn't it earlier that we were
yeah.
talking about like people have hated on Brady and it's been Deflategate and it's been this and that. And listen, I mean, at what point are you going to say, you know what, the guy deserves it. He's the GOAT. He's worked hard for it, and just admire his sportsmanship.
And by the way, if deflating footballs made that much success in his career, maybe your quarterback of your favorite team should have been doing that a few years back too. You know what I mean? Like if filming on the sideline was what makes wins happen, maybe your team should have been better, hired better photographers. You know what I mean? Because everybody's got caught for these things. So I look at this stuff and it's like, it's really, really fun to be part and witness to this situation, because we're not going to see anything like this. And if we do, great. Like I hope we see something like this again. I'll be part of it. I'd love to cheer him on. Great is great, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Ruff, what do you think?
He's tired.
He's
Called a
tired.
very
He's
hard
called it.
game.
Yeah, he did call
Tuckered
it.
out.
This was a lot.
You ever
this
get
was a lot
tuckered
of
out?
work on him. He's done a lot of Brady Super Bowls, and this one has been. What do you think, Ruff? Yeah. All right.
But by the way, Orlando Perez puts in the comment section, next year the Rams will win the Super Bowl. Not for nothing, but Tom Brady and the Patriots beat the Rams in the Super Bowl not once, but twice. Um, just saying.
Yeah, yeah, and
Just saying.
I sit there and look. I'm a huge fan. I need some more champagne because I just dumped it on the ground.
Oh well,
But
that's not good.
I like.
Probably
I
shouldn't
really
do
like your
that.
Rams, man. I really like Matthew Stafford a lot, and
Hmm.
I think he's going to do good there. I think they gave away a lot. That's way too much. Thank you. And I think they gave away a lot for it. And Stafford was one of the guys I thought might come to New England. And then my second one was Carson Wentz. And then this past week they just released a story on how, like, if anybody wants Carson Wentz, they're going to have to give up the same type of stuff that was given up for Matthew Stafford. And I just don't see New England doing that. So I'm really interested to see what happens here in the offseason, because the offseason's now. and these teams are going to start lobbying and doing what they need to do to get ready for next year.
Orlando, if you're moving, by the way, to Orlando, if you're moving to Miami, then what do you care about the Rams for? You should become a Dolphins fan. I mean, not that that's any better, but
And he might have been an original LA Rams
I'm
fan
just
before, when they were
joking.
there the
I'm
first
just
time.
joking.
But we had a great game. Great game. Really unique for the legacy of football in the NFL and Tom Brady. It was a long game. You were 100% right, man. It's such a long game. Like it was not incredibly exciting after the first like probably 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's these Super Bowls, there's always a lot of hype no matter what the game is. You just don't really know until it starts. You get a good feeling in the first 20 minutes or so how it's gonna go. And it still can change from there. But you get like a little bit of a vibe of like, okay, you start to see them kind of go against each other, a couple of possessions. You get a little bit of an idea. And I kind of knew right off the bat it was going to be a long game. I think I expected more out of Kansas City. I'm surprised at what the score is. I definitely thought they would have been in like the 20-point range, as we talked about. But things happen. It's tough to say. And again, I want to just say there's no hate on Kansas City for it. I think they're a good team. They came out there with every intention of giving everything they had. It's just these games, they just the cards fall the way they do. These guys, they obviously they want to win. They're down there, they're trying to figure it out, but it is what it is sometimes, and there's not much else to say about it. It's
Should we
congratulations to Tampa Bay.
should we bring on a guest? Should we bring on a guest if somebody wants to come on here? Should we bring them on as a guest so they can say
Sure,
something? So like I
sure.
don't know. Let's
If
see.
some,
Let's see in the comments section. Let's see who would like to be a guest on the
Stir it up a
show,
little bit.
and then we'll pick based off of who we like the best personally, and then we'll bring you on the show. We'll send you a Skype link. So shared video, Nayara Cigar Amor. Thank you very much. All right, it says night night. Oh, so maybe do we know Nayara Cigar Amor? That could be a fun guest.
Frequent watcher, and there was a question asked earlier. Where's Nicole? Nicole is actually with me right here.
Mike
She's just
Bellady.
not on
Mike
camera.
Bellady's coming on the show. Mike Bellady's on the show. Here we go.
Wasn't
Problem
even a
solved.
thought.
Problem
I'm
solved.
sorry to everyone else who tried.
Yeah, Mike
It's not
Bellady.
like it's biased or anything.
Matthew,
I
have you
was
met?
gonna say maybe hold on. Maybe I was gonna say maybe we have Coop on as well. I know Coop always has something to say.
Yeah, we'll get
But
Coop on, but we need to get Mike Bellady on here first. Mike Bellady, I'm going to text you the link to this to your cell phone number. Here we go. Mike Bellady. Yeah, good call. Mike Bellady needs airtime. Here it comes. Here you go, Mike Bellady. Make sure you're on Skype. There you go. You're good to go. We'll get you in on the show.
send Coop the link. He's dying to get in here.
Yeah, we got him. We got him.
It's about to get real interesting on
Oh yeah, you don't know Mike Bellady.
I
It's
don't.
too bad. So Bear Duplessis is live right now. Otherwise, I'd say he would be good too. I'd be curious to see what he had to say, but I know he's doing his show.
Shots fired. Bellady says, "Bring on Coop."
All right,
This
Coop.
is the way to end
You're
your
up,
Sunday
buddy.
night, folks.
Wow.
Waiting for everyone to join.
Well, Naira, we appreciate your support. We may bring you on a bit, but we have the ever
Hold on 1 second.
willing Mike Bellady, who's going to bring a lot of fire to this. If you thought I was bad, just wait.
Oh boy.
Also, for everyone who's asking what Nicole's doing, she's actually watching El Oso Fumar right now. She's not even watching the show.
You know what's funny for me? After the Super Bowl's over, they immediately get the award ceremony done, and they go on to that new show they're going to release every year, and it's The Equalizer, which looks kind of cool. It was based, I believe, it's probably based off those movies with Denzel Washington, which were great. And they have a lady who's the forefront of it. And I've been watching it kind of over the shoulder here, over the top of the computer, and it's been kind of cool to watch. All right, so let's see. Mike Bellady, 2 minutes. William Cooper, we're waiting on you. Things are about to get real.
I think Coop should probably just get himself set up, but he's definitely coming in.
By the way, let's go to the referee here for 1 second. Jonathan, referee,
Ruff, what are your
give us
thoughts
your
on the
opinion
game?
about the game, please.
No opinion. No comments.
That's a true referee.
I
You're
just-
not allowed to comment on the game.
That's right. That's official right there. I just texted Coop. I'm like, waiting on you. LOL.
Oh, when they're in, they'll be in.
I think this discussion is about to take off once we get a couple people in here. It's going to get a little rowdy. So
Yeah. Another moment of silence,
be light
and
when
we're
we
gonna
start
need
the
to. I'm gonna need to up my jersey game and shirt game here because I only have the TB12 6 jersey shirt. I'm gonna have to get the number 7 here tomorrow. I'm sure that's already up on TB12.com.
so I don't know with COVID if there will be a parade for Tampa Bay, but in some celebratory fashion, Tom will be wearing a number 8 shirt.
Yes. Oh yeah. And there's
Yeah.
gonna be a
It'll be the
parade,
number
by the
8.
way,
Yeah,
because
Tampa's not
this
concerned.
is Florida, dude. I was just in Tampa.
Tampa's not
Nobody
concerned.
even gave a thought of it. So for those of you watching, as I said, people were being careful and whatnot. But I mean, this was open, man. If they were allowed to, the state of Florida would have had a full crowd there. It was just the NFL's policy to have limited fans. So that would have been a pretty full stadium. I would have said probably 50 to 75% full. So here we go. I think we might get somebody in here. Nope, not yet. Not yet. Get set up. Oh, man. I don't even know how to really feel about this. This is one of those things where I'm like going to have to sleep on it until I realize what just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some commercials, right?
Yeah, let's talk commercials. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's something that's big. So the Rocket Mortgage actually had a continuation, and I don't think we did this justice in our original halftime bit, but the Rocket Mortgage did a really good job with that, like, not quite there yet type commercial.
Yeah, it was like, do you think you can do this? So I think so. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. The Rocket Mortgage was really good. Tracy Morgan was nice on it. They had some really good stuff. But you were 100% right in the commercials, Matthew. How many celebrities were in these commercials?
Yeah.
Like, it was wild, man. That shows you that everybody's been bored with nothing to do. Was celebrities in these Super Bowl commercials like never before.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of them. I think that like John Travolta was in one of them too. Don Cheadle I saw did the Michelob Seltzer commercial. I think these actors are just I think they're just more available because normally they're all out on film schedules and this and that, and I think everyone's more available, and it's like, sure, I'll do a Super Bowl commercial. They get enough money in the budget for them, so they can definitely pay some of these people. And regardless, I think some of these people just wanted something to do. They're not filming movies. It's like let's film a Super Bowl commercial. But it was cool because it was great to see because it was entertainment, and some of them were just hilarious. I was just really excited to watch it myself.
That lemon one, right, where they just started raining lemons everywhere. I think
Yeah.
it started off kind of weak, and we were like, oh, this is going to be kind of cheesy, and I think it grew on us over time. Where
It did.
People are getting pelted by lemons, and I feel like everyone could relate to that.
Yeah.
After 2020.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. We just had an issue. We're gonna get Coop in here, and we got Mike Bellady waiting. I just gotta.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we're definitely still live. There's just seems the
Because I
Skype room's a little
lost you. I didn't
frozen.
know if that dropped the feed out.
No, we're still there. William Cooper
Orlando.
left. If you're watching Coop and you're watching Mike Bellady come back in, we'll let you in. We just had a small little issue.
Coop was in here for a second. I heard him talking.
Yep.
Orlando, did you smoke the natural or the Maduro? He claims he smoked a La Flor Dominicana Ligero.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take.
Johnny Harris, what's up, buddy?
Take a quick break.
You know what I have a couple of that I almost smoked today, but it just didn't feel right. So I got some of the diggers, the LFD diggers. Big smoke though, so I couldn't really, I don't know. I wanted to do it, but I couldn't really commit because I wanted to have a little bit of a selection of cigars for tonight, and I didn't want to just limit it all down to one. So didn't end up going with the digger, but looks like we have Mike Bellady
look
joining.
at that. Coming in
Here we
hot. Hey,
go.
go. Look at that. Go, Pats.
Where did Carney go?
He's on a short break, intermission for Carney.
John went to go take a bathroom break.
Yeah, that's the nice way of putting it.
He's probably peeing behind a bush right now off camera.
Man, you're frozen on my computer. Is he frozen on your computer too? Oh, we got Coop too.
Nah, Coop's in here
Look
now.
at this.
There we go.
Everyone's
This is about to
joining
get
in.
rowdy.
Well, Mike, what's going on?
I don't
What's
see
happening?
I don't see everyone else though. Are we just on audio right now? Maybe
Mike,
John's
you
gonna
got the
bring him in.
wrong team shirt on.
No. This is Patriots Day every year. It's not
John,
it's Patriots
John, I
Day.
can't see anybody.
We're all here, baby.
I'm gonna be right back so I can get a reasonable microphone. I'll be right back. Give me a second.
John, is there a way you can? I can only see you. I can't.
Yeah, you're just frozen, I think. Oh, I got you. 1 second.
I'm here.
No, you're there. You're showing frozen. Everybody else is not. Looks like everybody's frozen.
Strange.
No, I'm seeing Coop move.
Yeah, Coop's
and
moving. Everybody's here, Matthew, except you're frozen, but we can hear you.
I'm here. I'm frozen. That's weird.
Yeah.
all the rough making play calls.
Carney, half your head is missing.
I can only see John.
Barely fits in the
but I
frame.
can hear everybody.
So we're all here. The crew is all here. What was the question you asked, Matthew? Did you ask a question about the digger?
No, I said I have some diggers. I was gonna smoke one earlier, but I just didn't want to commit to the big smoke. You know.
Problem of commitment, Matthew.
So Mike Bellady.
Yeah,
Talk to us,
you know.
baby.
Hey, I got actually a serious question. John, did you guys get any cigars over to the stadium?
I don't know.
John.
I don't know. I think have. Whoa.
Oh,
John,
Mike.
everyone's saying I'm frozen here. I might have
Yeah,
to
you're
bring it
frozen,
back
but
up again.
you're frozen, but we can all hear you. So yeah, I don't know. We've tried in years past. We've had some over there before. I don't know if we got any this year. I'm hoping we did.
I'm assuming there may have been this year a little more of a. I'm assuming maybe the Fuentes and Newmans may have tried to do this as well. Potentially Drew Estate, who did it, when they got it up for cigars last year. So I'm wondering if we're going to see any of that tonight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, in years past, there's been cigars showed up in the game. I mean, there was one year when the Patriots won that there was a Padron Humidor in there. So we've tried our best, and so yeah, we've definitely had a lot of players smoke the cigars. And if there was any year that was going to happen, I think it would be Tampa. So we'll see what happens, and we did our best.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool if that happens.
So everybody's live here. Nobody's frozen. Matthew's back. Mike Bellady is celebrating the same way I am. This is Mike Bellady, by the way, babe.
I have not met Mike Bellady. Nice to meet you, sir.
He's muted,
Great
though.
taste. I wish I could hear
Good
you.
reason.
I assume it's great.
Maybe the best thing we muted Mike.
yeah, could be a good situation. I know he can hear us because he's definitely talking.
Yeah. This is a great concept. You guys got to do this every year, the halftime and the postgame. This is absolutely great.
Oh, we will. This is our new thing.
I think this is a tradition you guys could really build on. So it's a great job.
There's another podcast out there who does a traditional football show too. It seems to be pretty successful.
Yep. Yeah, I'm happy with our pregame show earlier in the week. So, I like this is kind of just fun now. So this is great.
The most fun about this.
Awesome.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, the fun thing about this was we talked about doing a pregame. The halftime show at last night. So we talked about the halftime show last night. I got my computer set up outside with a projector, so I'm projecting on a separate screen the television and whatnot. And then we did the halftime show, and Matthew and I were sitting there talking, and we were like, brought up was like, hey, maybe we ought to do this post game show, and I was like, I think that might be a good idea. So as soon as Matthew and I had said that they were going to do this and brought the idea up. Like we switched over all the graphics, everything to be post game show, blah 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 blah.
Right.
And yeah, it was unique. It was a unique opportunity, and I think it was good and it was fun and it was cool because we were all watching the game at the same time too. So we hit it right when halftime ended, right? Sorry, when halftime
Yep.
started, and then we ended it right when halftime had it, and we were right here at the end of the game. So it was good timing.
I agree. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, we definitely thought it would be interesting to just provide some different stuff. We're always growing here at Smokin Tobacco, and sometimes it's not just about the cigar show. Sometimes it's just a football show.
Yeah.
And it was a hit so far, I guess. People seem to like it.
It was, and like next year you'll have time to promote it more, and I guarantee you'll have a bigger audience. And it was like for me, I watch the game usually at home. I usually don't go to like a big party or anything. So for me, it was like ideal. I'm like, yeah, I don't really, unless there's an artist I really care about at the halftime show. I'm usually just not doing anything. So I was like, this is great. I have something to really tune into, which I enjoyed what you guys did. So this is, and I'm honored to be on right now.
Thank you. Can we talk about how hard Bellidy's trying to say something?
Is he trying
This is the
hard?
best
I've
voice
seen
ever
he's
happened.
been off screen most of the time. Like this
trying
he went
so
for separate
hard.
audio and
Trying
and then
so
we just
hard.
have not got him
Well,
back since then.
Coop, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I said if it wasn't
still
for
can't
us
hear
that
you.
Bear was live with his own show, Bear would have been a good insert
Okay,
in
hear
this too.
He
You know,
would've.
if this prolongs, we can just give him his own voice.
So,
We can just do a dub.
But I can always catch him on the replay. So.
Nicole's
So
watching
my
him right now, and she says he's good.
Yeah,
So my
he's got
lady
Dean
friend-
Parsons on, he's got Dean on
Yeah,
tonight. It's a good guy.
my lady friend probably had the best thing ever. You know those bad lip dub things? We could do voiceovers for Mike Bellady and what he's saying.
One of
I
those
just
we can
wanna
do an
thank
NFL
John
bad
Carney
lip
for the
reading,
opportunity
Smoking
to-
Tobacco edition.
Yeah.
Now he's just gonna stop because now he's
This
just
is-
like, what the hell? I took
Mike,
the time
turn-
to come on here.
It looks like his mute button's on. I mean, I see the-
Orlando says he still needs to do what I said about his microphone, but no one's listening to me. No, Orlando, I think John had intentionally.
Can you hear me?
There you go.
Yes!
Hey!
This is the
Welcome
worst
to the
nightmare of
show!
Why?
Well, because this has got to be a horrible night for you.
Why is it a horrible night?
Because you hate Brady.
I don't hate Brady.
You do hate
So-
Brady.
so
you
listen,
don't want
if
to
you-
say you hate Brady, but you do
No,
hate
no.
Brady.
If you watched our show the other night, okay, I did not say anything bad about Tom Brady. Okay, I was a little critical on saying, hey, his performance against Green Bay was not a vintage Brady performance.
That's true.
This was a much better performance. I'm not going to argue that, right?
It was.
And I said this idea of the hatred towards Brady, I don't think is ever geared at his football. I think it's geared at the fact that he's in drama from time to time, and we
I
could
got
judge
it. He
what that
must have
drama is.
cheated this year. Him and Gronk cheated this year.
No, I don't think
And
I haven't heard
Arians
anyone say
cheated.
that. No, they didn't. Look,
No, they
look,
didn't cheat. Oh, I just want to make sure.
No. I mean, but I think that the Brady fan base, they put up a guard if there's anything critical. And I said something critical about his performance against Green Bay. I didn't think
Yeah,
it was a
wasn't good.
vintage performance.
The first half
It
was
wasn't a
great, the
bad
second half
performance. It
sucked.
was, yeah. And
Yeah.
and look, here's the thing. I'll say this about the game. Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo were horrendous. But I even think if they went in with a much better prepared team, they weren't winning tonight. And I picked
No.
Tampa to win this game beforehand.
By the way,
So,
they may
yeah.
win again next year. Anyways, he may get his 8th next year.
it-
First
it-
off, let's just step off of football for a second. Matthew,
Yes.
your post today was on point. I commented on it.
Yep.
And you should never be shy about that kind of post.
Absolutely. I agree.
And you're
Wait.
doing the right things. You're doing a
Wait.
good job. And
To be-
I'm not kissing your ass. I'm just saying that
Yep.
you're doing a good job. And I will tell you that Carney's got the only real microphone in this. What is that? Is that a microphone? What is that, Carney?
It's a dildo with a cord.
What's happening?
I can neither confirm nor deny what this is, but it does generate sound.
I mean, what do you do with that thing when you're not on a podcast? That's what I want to know.
Karaoke, man.
I know. I don't want to say.
I'll let my lady friend speak.
He's got a wonderful singing
Alright.
voice, and it likes to come out on this microphone
I'm
when you
sorry.
guys aren't around. But that's more private conversation.
I'm gonna hit the mute button and let you guys talk.
That's a good
Uh-oh.
idea. Smart move.
No, hey, Mike, thanks. Thanks for that. And I just want to say I didn't post that because I was looking for.
I know.
Not that I don't appreciate it. But I didn't post it because I was looking, for like the pat on the back. Even though I appreciate the love and the fact that people out there, they want to give me the support. They like what I'm doing, whatever that I love that. For me, and I'm not even one to make posts like that, but for me, I was in a situation yesterday. I called John on the phone last night, and I was like, John is someone who I consider like a brother to me, and I was like, hey man, I need to talk to you about something, and we had a nice conversation about a lot of personal things. I'm going to keep that between me and John, but I took the night to kind of reflect, and I thought about a lot of things, and I've kind of played this game a certain way to this point, which has been good for me. It's been successful, and Coop, you and I have had a lot of conversations about it.
Yep.
But there's just been a lot of little things that are little, but the little things can add up as they begin to multiply. And I don't know. I just kind of felt like I just want to say something like, it's there's people out there who just do certain things, and it's not that I'm letting it get to me, but I just want to say like, hey, like just do your own thing. Don't copy me. Stop trying to cling on to my success. Stop trying to copy what I do. Stop trying to act like you're bigger or better than me. I don't care, but it's like don't make me that goal. Like do your own thing. You know what I mean? Like that's what I do.
Just understand that I have officially stopped the crusade to change my name to Michael Tobacco.
Me too.
That's okay. It's okay. I get it. I'd be flattered if you.
I was going to do it, but then I saw your post. I said I can't do it anymore.
It's.
You ruined my future.
I'm sorry. Maybe we could come up with another name. I don't know. We'll brainstorm in the next brainstorm session. But no, I just and then I've had this conversation with, and I don't mention. I do the joke where I'm like, I'm not going to mention names, and I mention the name, but I'm not going to mention the names. But I've had some conversations with.
Please mention the names.
No, it's good stuff, and I don't want to. It's stuff like that. So I had conversations with some very interesting people that we all know personally. And, I talked about, and people have said to me like, well, I like how you're not out there for the wrong reasons. You don't do the wrong things. You don't ask for, too much, and you don't try to mooch off of people. And I just like to kind of go out there and do my own thing. And I like to work hard at what I do, and I don't try to take too much or try to give more than I take. And I also want to say like, hey, like, stop coming to me and asking me like, oh, like I'm not your fucking talent agent, okay? Like I'm not gonna get you like, oh, can you get me A, B, C, D? Like, no, I'm not that guy, because I'm not gonna. That's not who I am. I don't want that to be my reputation. So I had a lot of things I just wanted to get off my chest. I made the post. I appreciate everyone who supported it. If you disagree with me, you had a problem with it, I'm sorry, but at least I was honest. I just try to be an honest person, and that's the best I can do. So.
Coop will tell you I don't care if people disagree with my posts, and you shouldn't either. That said, Coop, what part of the estate are you in right now? Like I'm not even understanding what I'm looking at right now. Is that a background or what's happening?
It's a background from.
Thank God. I was gonna.
Yeah.
Do you know how much material I would have had if that was a part of your house?
Yeah,
This is
it's the
a
dungeon with
lodge
the
I
lights
go
on.
to out in Nevada before the trade show every year.
Right.
I kind of just decompress.
Right.
So I don't have
That's
the
what
regular.
all the rich
I had to
people do.
put
They
this
go to a
together.
lodge in Nevada.
Right. No, it's not. I don't have a lodge in Nevada.
John has a nice waterfront property up here in the North Shore of Massachusetts.
I mean, you had this private island off the coast of Hilton Head or something. I saw you were golfing.
What about this?
Last
What about
month.
the
No,
estate
I
in Maui?
golf in Hilton Head regularly, but I don't own the island.
I mean, I've heard a lot about the
I
estate
gotta
in
tell
Maui
you,
over the years.
Matt, you don't know me that well. We haven't talked much, but
Yep.
at all until tonight. But I will tell you that if I had the money that Cooper thinks I have, I would burn my money for the money he thinks I have.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the money he thinks I have, right?
Listen, I saw your what was the room you did the thing in?
The
You had
parlor.
that whole thing.
The parlor.
The parlor. I don't have a parlor. Someday I hope to be able to afford a parlor. I don't have a parlor. Coop's got a parlor.
It's a nice room.
If-
That's all.
Is that
If we
is that
all-
where is that?
If we all
If
had
we-
the money that we think that Bellady has, none of us would be on a cigar show right now.
But exactly.
I mean, listen, I'm
Or the
not
cigar-
asking for donations. I'm fine. But I'm
He
just
just
saying I
wants a
don't have
parlor.
quite what people
If you're
think I
hearing
have.
this, he wants to be able to afford a parlor. So We're gonna start that later on.
Wait, I'll actually give you a little look at the parlor.
Yeah, please do.
Are we coming? Is this the red stage?
I feel like we're on Smoking Tobacco
With-
Cribs right now.
He's got the light diffuser there.
Especially
He's got a
Still see
light
the
right
diffuser
behind
in the
this.
parlor photo.
Tomorrow night,
those-
Smoking
I mean-
Tobacco Cribs.
What happened?
Tomorrow night we're gonna do the Smoking Tobacco special, Smoking Tobacco Cribs.
Yeah.
We'll start it at Coop's house.
I've got some background music for you guys. Don't worry.
Should we show off the Carney Cabana too?
Yeah, exactly. Please.
No one's like allowed to. It's funny because I don't let people sit in this room unless they're like, it's like my kids.
Yeah.
They go in it once a year for Christmas because we put the Christmas tree in there.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're 21 and they're 21, and over. So
And before he took that picture, he removed the plastic from the couches. I mean, let's be honest.
we didn't have. There was no plastic, although I have thought of it.
Liar.
No, I have thought of it. I'll be honest, I thought of it, but I haven't.
Coop definitely seems like the kind of guy who would put the plastic on the couch.
Yeah, he does. He has plastic.
You know, when I,
Matt, let me tell you a story about Coop. I'm
Mhm.
going to tell you, Coop, you'll know I'm telling the truth too. I was in Myrtle Beach coaching my daughter's club softball team years ago. Coop, I was doing an event at a cigar shop down there, and Coop was nice enough to come down from Charlotte. This guy made fun of the fact that I pulled up in my wife's car, which we had with us in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
And he made fun of it because he called me rich, and yet he had a Cadillac that he banged up and didn't give a shit about because he just bangs through Cadillacs left and right every week. And he's got a Coop. Am I wrong? Did
no,
you bang a
I
Cadillac?
had a Cadillac and I was rear-ended about 5 minutes from the shop,
Right.
and I did not have a seatbelt on, which was a big mistake too, because I paid for that for a while. But yes, that is a true story. I had a Cadillac that got
Coop, safety
yeah.
first.
Right. he totaled a Cadillac and made fun of the fact that I was driving with my wife's car.
And now he has a Lexus.
Yeah, it was a
Right.
rental. The Cadillac was a rental.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because that's what you do. Because you can rent a Cadillac when you're cool.
Well, wait a minute. Now
Hey.
you were in Vegas, and I heard the story how you got the luxury Uber, the Uber top line car to pick you up. I heard
In my defense, I didn't order that car. It just showed up.
they don't
It was a
know. You have to
G-Wagon.
you have to go to that tier to get it. They
I did
actually
get a
gave you that.
G-Wagon
Well,
out
can
of the Venetian.
Can I chime in here? Because I actually did something like that. At IPCPR 2019, I rented the first, it was when they first were available. I rented the special edition Shelby Mustang that you could rent.
Oh,
And
right.
I rented that, and I picked up John Fazzi from Christoph Cigars, and we whipped around on that thing and tried to figure out just how fast we could get it to go around the Nevada desert. That was a fun experience. So I've been known to dabble in the luxury lifestyle as well.
Hopefully you were driving and not Fozzie.
I was. Fozzie was riding
Good
shotgun.
It's a great call. Like, I'd rather have Carney drive than Fozzie, and I don't want Carney driving.
Smart decision.
I mean, and after I saw Coop's Cadillac, I don't want him driving either.
The best
I
thing
will
that ever
say-
happened to me in my career was when I got promoted to vice president of sales, so I didn't have to drive anymore.
Right.
I was
I
rear-ended,
paid like $8,000 in fines to the state of New York in my last year as a sales rep.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
No surprise.
I think I was with you at the Grand Havana room that night, that last year.
Yeah, I think you might have been part of that.
Havana room.
You were still the rep at that point.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, that was like 8-9
Yeah.
years ago when we met, like almost 10 years ago now.
When our good friend was hammered.
Well, that's when we discussed the Maui estate. The
Right.
estate in Maui. Yeah, you offered that up
Yeah.
as a bet. By the way, I think you might have won that
I
bet.
offered my Mercedes as a bet. I said, listen, I will win this bet by giving my Mercedes to a retailer in Chicago.
Joan, what about that time? I think was it IPCPR or was it TPE? You were in Las Vegas, and I think you were with Jared, who is now with McAuliffe. And I don't know if there was alcohol involved. I'll let you announce that if it was or not.
I'm
But
going to
something-
answer that. I don't even know the story, but yes, there was alcohol involved.
And he tried to play Steven Goskowski with a water bottle and slipped and fell on his ass.
All right, so that wasn't in Vegas. That was in the Dominican Republic.
I need a
Ah, okay.
There was alcohol involved, but alcohol wasn't the cause, coincidentally. Yeah, I was challenged to if I could kick a water bottle over the wall of the mansion we'd rented, and I was asked. I said, "Hey, can you kick this water bottle?" I said, "Of course I can kick this water bottle over that wall." So I kicked it. The ground was wet. I went flying up in the air. I'm 270 pounds, and I landed on my ribs and broke like 4 ribs.
Oh.
That
Let me
was
ask
just
you this question.
Wait,
that was
hold on
just
a second.
16 months ago.
I only knew.
Let
that
me ask you a
broke them.
question.
I never knew the story.
Oh, you never
behind-
heard the story?
No.
Oh, no, it was awful.
Let me ask
I mean,
you
it
a
was like an
question.
The
earthquake.
ground was wet.
Yeah, it was an earthquake.
Were you wearing the Crocs?
Of course, I was wearing the Crocs.
See, there we go.
Hmm.
There we go.
I'm-
See,
I'm-
not in PPE. There you.
There was no
For
work.
those of you watching, we absolutely recommend you wear your PPE before running on wet ground.
Yeah, and also there was no workman comps claim there. I'm not that type of guy. I didn't do that kind of stuff. I wasn't trying to take advantage of my company. I missed the kick, man. When you miss a kick, you own it and you get ready for the next one.
You mean like that puncher dropped the ball tonight?
Dude, embarrassing. Embarrassing.
Both
The special
figuratively
teams
and
is a joke,
literally.
too. Yeah. I bet they wish Bill Belichick was the special teams coach for that team because that wouldn't have happened. I promise you that. His hair looked nice, though.
Yeah, and then that's the only real trash talk I will say about Kansas City is that punter. Whew, rough.
Coincidentally,
Rough
that punter was from Orlando, Florida. Boone High School. My lady
Really?
friend's stepfather was telling us that tonight. And yeah, maybe he should cut his hair and stop worrying about more important things like holding on to football and punting it more than 10 yards in a Super Bowl.
What does that sound?
You know that.
It's Mike
that
Bellady.
was.
Oh, it's Bellady. He's just making unnecessary roughness.
I've been ripping the coaching of the Kansas City.
I had to get my ventilation on.
Ah, okay.
So I can
Boy,
smoke.
the special teams were atrocious too. I mean, it was just an all-around meltdown of Kansas City in this game.
Yeah,
100%.
first,
100%. They
that's
looked
what-
terrible. They played terrible. It was their worst game of the season.
Look,
And-
I think Tampa would have won. I'm gonna be straight.
Yeah.
You know, and I picked them to win. I think they still would have won the game. But man, did they just go out there and just lay an egg?
But didn't we talk about this on Tuesday in a little bit? We touched on it, and we all agreed. And they put up a stat right before the game started. The Bucks were 7-0 in December and January, and I think Kansas City was like 5-3 or something like that. So
Mhm.
they were not playing good football, and part of it was Mahomes had some injury stuff and whatnot, but they really weren't playing good football.
And he
at
was
the end of
still
the year.
he was still hurt. To be fair,
Yeah,
was
100%. But the
He
Bucks
was
were
hurt.
playing. The Bucks were playing their best football for the last 2 months, and they kept getting healthier and healthier and healthier. And Kansas City was playing like trash and still winning games because they're really good. But and then that just showed you. I mean, I don't think anybody thought, other than maybe Vegas, because they gave Kansas City the favorite there. They were 3-point favorites. I mean, that Bucks team was just better than Kansas City at that point of the season.
yes. And understand that, when you think about going into that game, Kansas City had 4 offensive linemen that were hurt. That's a big problem.
Yep.
Yeah,
Two.
and it showed. And it showed.
Their
I mean, they
line
couldn't
was
block
showed.
anybody.
Yeah.
It showed. The Tampa defense for the last 5 or 6 weeks of the season was as good as any defense in the NFL.
Agree.
2, so you put those 2 things together, that's not good for Kansas City. 3, Mahomes, although he ran the ball a little bit, was still not as mobile as he normally would be. And I don't care if you have turf toe. I've never had turf toe, but everything I know about turf toe is
Sucks.
it's a problem. And it's hard to step, it's hard to throw. I get it. That all being said, let's think about Tampa last year to this year and think about what changed in Tampa's roster last year to this year. What were the major changes? There's only really one.
No, there's 3.
It's
What's
Lori.
the
There's
3?
4. There's 4.
What are they?
Okay, Brady's obvious, right?
Right.
Tony
Gronk,
Brown.
Antonio Brown.
Right, but Gronk
and-
only
and
goes there
Blunt.
because of Brady.
I'm sorry,
so
not
I'll give
Blunt.
you that.
Fournette. I'm sorry, Fournette.
Yeah, but
Fournette was good.
And
Fournette was
is-
good. Fournette was money for them this year. He played well
Fournette
for
was
them.
money.
And
but
it was
Fournette
worth the
was
money
backup
because he
running
played
back
great
most
in this
of the year.
game. He played great in this game. Other than he still
He
can't.
totally
did.
played great.
He can't catch a football though. If it saved his life, if he had to have a football thrown to him, he's not going to catch it.
And look, Brady played in the one system his whole career. He came over to Tampa. Arians runs a different system. I expected there was going to be an adjustment, right?
There
at
was
the beginning
for the
of
first half of
and
the
that
year. They were 7-5.
and I wasn't ready to write him off. But obviously the adjustment took place at the right
Right.
time. Yeah.
Well, they were 7-5, right, at one point. So
Yeah.
so there was an adjustment, and actually there was some. No matter what they say, there were some issues between Arians and Brady early in the year.
I think there were too.
There's no
I
question.
agree. Yeah.
They weren't even trying to hide it. Now they're saying that it wasn't a big deal, but at the time, Arians was calling Brady out for some bad interceptions, and he had some. Brady did have bad interceptions, but once they got past, I would say week 13, 14, they were the best team in the NFL for sure, by a lot. They were.
They you can't argue that. I mean, look at the run they had in the playoffs. But I think I'm going to say, I think it was all team effort. I think there's a lot with the defense. Todd Bowles has got to be the happiest guy in the world. He gets fired from the Jets, right, 2 years ago, right, a mercy killing from the Jets,
Right.
and now he's the defensive coordinator of a Super Bowl winning team, and probably in the next year is going to have a shot to get a head coaching job again, which is good.
And by the way,
100%.
Byron Leftwich has got to be a hot commodity too, because he did an incredible job with them too.
Incredible.
Yeah, he did.
And, the
Incredible.
best thing that can happen to your career is getting hired by the Jets and then getting fired. Same thing's going to happen with Adam Gase. He's going to end up somewhere as an assistant. He's going to have a really good year with somebody. He's going to get another shot. All you got to do is go coach.
You know what else is the best thing you can do? You can get hired by the Jets and quit before you even coach the game.
True.
Belichick did it
Don't
twice.
leave
He did it
the
twice.
Jets,
Right.
I think is the thought.
I watched.
Or you could do that to the Colts too.
True.
Think about two former
Right.
Jets.
I watched the two
Aw.
Bills.
Right.
I watched the two Bills 30 for 30 last week, just in prep for this because I just wanted to be excited for the Super Bowl, which is weird because none of those coaches were involved in it. But it was interesting to watch, and it was really unique to how coaching assignments happen around the NFL. And that two Bills thing was really fun to watch because those guys didn't really get along that great, but they did at the same time. And like Belichick wouldn't be where he was if it wasn't for Bill Parcells. And you look at these other coaches, like Todd Bowles. Man, he's going to get another shot. Byron Leftwich is going to be a head coach in the NFL in the next few years. Somebody's going to throw him some money.
He is.
And he's going to go coach
Yeah.
a team. And it's just insane. The one person I do want to mention that I'm really happy is not involved in anything to do with the NFL, unless I know, is Eric Mangini. That guy is such a freaking piece of crap. And it's so nice to see him nowhere in the NFL right now, at least in a head coaching job. Maybe he's involved in something. But like people that are trash get trash results.
I say
right?
the same thing about Tom Coughlin.
Oh, stop it.
I actually don't mean that. I just said that because you're on the show.
Wow, I mean, did you
If you
see
look at that stuff-
I don't know what happened, but Michael Strahan liked my comment. Now I
I
don't know if
did
it was
see
Michael's.
that.
I don't know
saw-
if it was Michael Strahan's people or Michael
Yeah.
Strahan, right? But I put
Right.
up something there saying we love Tom Coughlin, and it was liked by Michael Strahan. I'm gonna take the fanboy moment for what it was and think that Strahan really liked it.
Right. You
I
should.
saved it. I have a save of the shot now.
You should. But what are you going to do with that? Like what is that getting you?
Listen, I said it the day they showed Tom Coughlin off the door. We were going to be looking at 5 to 10 years of rebuilding because they had
it'd be
no.
one thing if Brady liked it. Then you'd have something because he's the greatest of all time.
Michael Strahan's an all-time giant. I mean, how can you say?
Yeah, that's like being the tallest midget. But okay.
But we don't have an equivalent. I mean, look, we don't have an equivalent of the Tom Brady and the Giants. I'm not going to.
I know you don't.
I mean, but we've had some great.
You know how I know you don't have an equivalent of the Tom Brady on the Giants?
What?
There is no equivalent of Tom Brady.
Well,
So,
I'm saying
therefore,
that.
nobody has an
I'm
equivalent.
saying that. I'm not arguing with you. See, you guys are trying to create this argument that doesn't exist. I've not argued once and said anything negative about Tom Brady.
Don't
I
say
just said he
you
didn't have a good
guys.
game against Green
This is not
Bay.
you
That's
guys.
all.
He didn't.
It's not a you
You're
guys
right.
situation. I've never said anything negative about Tom Coughlin ever. I hate Eli Manning because he's the vice to Tom Brady. If Eli Manning was a better player, he would have been Tom Brady's equal, maybe, if not better. But he's just not.
Nothing would
I
have
have a
made me
real
more
problem. I
happier.
gotta find an ashtray.
Nothing would make me more happier if there was a rubber match. Well, not rubber match, a third match between the two teams, and the Patriots got another shot, and maybe they would have won it, maybe they wouldn't. But I would have liked to have seen them all go at it one more time in the Super Bowl. because it was a great rivalry.
Yeah, and the only other thing is Eli Manning just kind of, as much as he had those 2 Super Bowl wins over Brady and the Patriots, it's like, what else has he done? You know,
Well-
he's disappeared. He's fallen from grace.
Well, the
Look, he
Giants
was
also
really-
effed him.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though, and then this is what I say about the Coughlin run, and this is why I always hold Coughlin in. Coughlin won those 2 Super Bowls, making chicken salad out of chicken shit. Those were not good teams, like regular season teams.
They were actually better teams than you think.
They were not as they would.
That-
You would not put them up with
They're-
those Patriots.
they're as good as-
I
This
can
is good
tell
as
you
you can
right
be at
now,
8-8.
I won a lot of money on that first Giants versus Patriots Super Bowl. And I'm a Patriots fan, but I knew the spread was ridiculous.
The spread was
and I'm a
completely ridiculous.
capitalist
I
first.
agree. But you didn't think they'd win. You thought they would cover, and I think we all thought they would cover
Correct.
in that game.
Although I
Yeah.
thought there was a chance they could win,
Right.
but I didn't. If I had to bet on the money line, I would have taken the Patriots, right?
Right.
But I will tell you that I won a lot of money on that Super Bowl, even though I'm a Patriots fan.
Mhm.
I was actually at the Super Bowl in a Patriots shirt, smiling as they lost because I won a lot of money.
That's one of the Arizona game.
That's messed up.
Yes. And I was in Indianapolis. I sponsored what's called the Super Cigar Lounge in Indianapolis when they were playing the Giants the second time. And we raised a bunch of money for Roosevelt Colvin, who was with the Patriots at the time.
Mhm.
And for his Broad Ripple High School. And then I went to that game, and I didn't win money on that game. I gave the money I won on the first game back. Carney, when you coming back home again? Because you're not at home right now. You're in shorts. So I know you're not home. So when are you coming home again?
I'm in. I was in Tampa this last week. I'm in Orlando right now, and I'm going to be up in Maine.
Not home.
Yeah, I'm going to be up in Maine on Monday, the 15th, and I'll be up in New England until the 18th. So I got some events going on.
Am I going to see you, or what's going on? Like, are we still friends? What's happening?
If you'd like to see
Like,
me,
if you
I'd be
love
happy
me,
to have you come out.
I'm a little worried about our relationship.
It's been a while, Mike. I don't think I've seen. I don't
know.
think you and I physically seen each other maybe 2 years now. It's wild.
At least.
And I used to see you every other week,
Right.
and mostly that was in Atlanta. I'd usually see you in Atlanta every other week.
That's true. At Cigar City Club.
Exactly.
Usually. Hammered.
Yeah.
You were hammered. I was never hammered. You were hammered.
The last time I saw you, I think you and I were out 7 a.m. in somewhere else in Atlanta. We left Cigar City Club.
Yes,
somewhere
that
else.
was at Prince Place.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's
7
still there.
a.m.
Yeah, 7 a.m.
Yeah.
I think that was the last time I physically seen you in
Smooth Draw's
person.
radio coop. I was on Smooth Draw's radio at 9:30. I was out with him at 7 a.m. How do you think that went?
Wow. I think I remember that. I think that was
Yeah,
before
bad.
I was
had
on
no
the show,
voice.
though.
It was a disaster.
So a little thing that's being talked about right now. We Nick and I have been talking about trying to do a one-time reunion of the show. So we stay tuned on that to see if we can pull it off.
Yeah.
Didn't one of the guys pass away?
Yes.
Yeah, actually both of the
Gary.
founders passed away. Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. Both did.
but one was gone after he passed away. Gary passed away while we were doing the shows. That's why we couldn't continue the show without him. That was really all his
Nick
vision
from
and everything.
the what's the cigar company? Love whatever.
Yeah, LH.
LH. I
Yeah.
mean, I had to have
Yeah. So Nick and I
So
had
are you seriously thinking about doing that?
a one-time reunion. It's not like an every week reunion.
I need to be on that show.
Yeah,
You understand
that's
that,
why
right?
we're still formed. We had the initial discussion. The idea has been floated. I think we can pull it off. So it will be sometime this spring, and yeah, that's why I'm letting you know if we pull it off. Yeah, I mean we get Chad as well. Who's a big
Chad's
part
got
of
to be on it.
it. Yeah, Chad would definitely be on it. I mean, I haven't
Yeah.
mentioned it to even Chad yet. That's why I'm
We need Dr. Oscar Rodriguez on it for sure. I need to be on when he's on because him and I always have a great banter.
remember we were in the studio.
I
The
do.
new studio.
Like
That
3
was a
weeks
great.
before Gary died.
Yeah. So yeah,
I
that was-
know.
I remember that. That was a great show.
Yes. There's pictures still floating around Facebook of that
Yep.
broadcast.
So Matthew,
Yeah,
how's
I mean,
your how's your victory cigar going, bro?
It's going good. I'm getting towards the end here, and I am running out of time. I am going to have to tap out soon.
Yeah, we all are
lost track of time.
eventually. This is a good night. It was a special. I'm getting to the end of my cigar too. But Michael, Melody, we're gonna have you on the show, man.
Let's go.
Yeah, we gotta get you back on too, Mike. I know at some point.
Let's do it.
I'm in. I have things to say.
I'm sure you do. We have a forum. We can air it out.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, if Matt Booth can come on and say the things he said, we'd be very happy to have you on to say the things that you.
Well, I have one. You know, Carney, if you want to have the greatest show of all time, in any medium whatsoever, get me and Skip Martin at the same time.
God, that won't happen
Please.
on my show. That won't happen on my show.
Well, it won't happen because he's too much of a pussy to come on the show with me. But that's a different story.
I don't know.
You know
what,
who-
I don't,
Mike,
I don't
okay,
know.
I got
I
a-
don't know
I
anything
got a
behind
show.
this, so I can't comment.
I got a show for you, Mike, that you could get the person on. I think.
Oh,
I
Skip?
think no, not Skip. I won't do it, but if someone else wants to do it, Gordon Mott and you should go on a show.
We should
yeah.
go on. I actually
That
respect,
and I think Gordon would. I speak for Gordon, but I think
To be honest with
Gordon
you,
would do it. Yeah,
I actually respect Gordon Mott. I
a
have
lot of
great
people do.
respect
A
for
lot
him.
of people do. Yeah.
I don't respect Skip. I respect Gordon.
But haven't you guys all had enough time in the comment sections of everybody's comments on Facebook in the last 9 months? Have you guys not figured this out?
I haven't commented on anything Skip said in 7 months, probably.
Oh.
5
And,
months, 6
is
months.
what it is. There's room for all opinions. Some just happen to be wrong sometimes, right, Mike?
Yeah, like Skip's.
Meanwhile,
I
back at
think
the
I gotta go. I gotta go with Coop here. I don't think I can be the platform for controversy.
Politics thing. I know Dojo was looking to do something with that Skip Jeff thing because he called me. He's like, "Are you really not doing it?" I said, "I'm really not doing it." He goes, "You mind if I do it?" I'm like, go ahead."
Well, There's another
so I'm
show
gonna-
that tried to do something and Skip wouldn't do it.
So I'm gonna tell you guys something. Matthew doesn't
Yeah, you
even
know
know
about
this yet. Matthew doesn't know this yet, but it's something I have in the works, and we're gonna do it. It's gonna be an LFD event, and Smokin Tabacco is going to broadcast it. But I'm working on a cigar industry boxing event, and I want industry rivals, people that may have disagreed on Facebook. I'm gonna make all the invites that we need. And there's going to be a boxing segment. We're going to broadcast it live, and we're going to watch people box. Tony Gomez is a
Yes.
boxer, so he might be the highlight. But I'm going to get people involved in this that want to box each other. Just be 1 round, maybe 2 rounds at the most, 2 minutes. Get in the ring. You can wear headpieces and stuff, and you just duke it out. This is really something I think that's unique. And by the way, I'm not just
physically
saying
boxing?
this. Yeah, physically boxing. I have a boxing bar
Oh,
down here that I
please.
just participated in an event in. And they allow smoking. They sell cigars. They have a bar with a glassed-in cage behind it, so you can sit at the bar.
We're going to
drink.
have cigar people beating the shit out of each other? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah, and I said Matthew doesn't know this yet because I hadn't brought it up to him. But
This is either going to go horribly wrong or it's going to be unbelievable. I don't
Oh,
know
it's
which
gonna be-
one it's going to be yet.
it doesn't matter.
This was not brought up in the last team meeting.
No, this was not brought up in the last team meeting. But it's something that I've already got in the works, and I hadn't said anything about it until now. And I was gonna wait until I had it going, but I thought that what you brought up, Mike, would be a good thing. And I'm gonna personally,
I get the box Skip? Is that what we're saying?
maybe if he
Yeah,
wants
I
to,
have
but
the
I'm gonna
box.
sit down
Like,
with
we're putting
Matthew.
gloves on?
I'm gonna
He won't
sit
even
down with
debate me.
Matthew, and we're gonna put down. We're gonna do some behind the scenes discussion, and we're gonna put down some of the most controversial matches that we can possibly put together.
I don't know if this is going to be unbelievable or horribly terrible. I don't know which one. Either way, it's going to be entertaining, right?
Oh,
John,
Jesus.
I feel like a lot of it's just gonna be you against a lot of other people.
Good point, man. That's a valid
It'd be
point.
like you against
Right.
Mr. Jonathan, you against Barry, you against. Let's see, who else? Who else doesn't like you?
Who else doesn't like him? Who likes him?
It's endless. I could be all 10 cards.
Can we get maybe you and Andy maybe to go against each other? That would be interesting.
I'd kill it. I might kill Andy. I don't know. I wouldn't want to, but I would. I would if I had to. If it was
Andy
live
who?
being broadcast,
Andy
pay-per-view.
Yaffe from Calif.
Yeah, we're gonna do
Yeah,
pay-per-view
we
on
should do
this
that.
thing too. Pay-per-view, you
That'd
get
be a good
cigars,
one.
you
Andy's
get this, you
actually
get
a
that.
good dude.
Yeah, and he's gonna get knocked the fuck out.
I would, if I had to put a bet on it, I like Andy, I like you, John, but John, you're going to kick his ass. There's no question.
John, what about
Yeah.
you against Steven, who is now with McAuliffe as well?
Oh, Steve would die, man. It wouldn't last 10 seconds. And he knows
Yeah.
it. Like, he knows it too. Like, it just is what it is. It's fine. It's an okay thing. It's sometimes truth hurts, right? But no, I am working on a boxing segment, and I think it'd be awesome.
That's
And,
great.
yeah, I'm gonna try to get it done in the next like 4 or 5 months. And
Can I request MMA style instead of boxing?
No, it's a boxing gym.
Come on. I
And,
want
and here's the
lighter
thing.
gloves.
Yeah.
Well,
We
here's
don't
the
want
thing.
anyone
Tony,
to die.
Tony's an actual
Oh, there's two
boxer.
people who want to
So
die.
like,
There's
I know
one.
I have the main event lined up no matter what. Tony versus whoever wants to fight him, and he'd box because he's a good boxer. So I
Yeah,
already
but
know
I
I
like
got the main
Tony.
event.
I'm not fighting him ever.
But you're not gonna fight Tony. That's not the matchup that we're gonna come up with.
No, it wouldn't be. Like, I like Tony, and he would kick my ass.
And we may do.
I don't like
Who
that.
knows?
I don't
Maybe
like
we
him
can do
ass
proxy fights where somebody fights on your behalf. You know what I mean? Who knows? Never mind.
Yeah, I get
You're
that.
gonna be
I get to
sponsors.
appoint somebody?
Maybe you be a sponsor.
Wow. That'd be awesome.
You want to come on? Oh, sorry. I'm looking at Nicole. She's like trying to wait. I'm like, you want to come on? Just trying
Didn't
to
like
tell me something.
Trump do that with Vince McMahon?
He
Yeah,
was
it was
on
in the
WWE.
WWE.
Yeah.
But they didn't
WrestleMania.
fight each other. They got two guys to fight each other.
Yeah, and then Trump ended up. I think Trump ended up knocking out McMahon at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, by the way, just to let you know, there's only one president of the United States that's ever been a WWE Hall of Famer, and that's Donald J. Trump. WWE Hall of Famer. So,
Well, that's
like him or
important.
hate him, he's a Hall of Famer.
I still can't see above your nostrils, Carney. I don't know
Well,
what's
you know,
going
that's-
on there.
I'm watching the whole screen, and I got my full nostrils on display.
Guys, I'm gonna have to cut it out here. I'm
No-
sorry
no
to
problem.
do it, but I gotta cut
Appreciate
it
it.
out here. Thanks for coming on, you guys.
thanks.
John, this was awesome.
Yep.
You know, we'll all catch up. We'll
Yep,
all
absolutely.
talk. Mike, you're coming on the show. We'll figure it out.
Thanks,
What a
man.
night.
Appreciate it.
We'll do the legit anytime. What?
What a night.
What a night. Good night.
Congrats, guys.
See you guys.